Alright, so today I'm going to be reviewing week 4, day 3, managing permissions and services. Yeah. Honestly, right now I was reviewing the notes myself because honestly I've been falling behind. So just extra review, you know what I mean? So in the notes, I'm right here, permission demo. I know she did the demo in class. It's available on the video recordings of the class. I'm personally going to do the demo myself for extra practice. I would recommend doing the same. More practice never hurts, you know. So to help me with this, I pulled up this on here. This I don't need. That no, that I don't need. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And if you want, you know what? Okay, I'll show you how to get to this too. So let's go to the home. So I'm on week 4. I'm on day 3. Student guide. This here, right here, is how you get to the slides. If anybody's still struggling with that, I typically download them to Microsoft PowerPoint, so I can just have it. Close that out. And yeah, so 4.3, I'm going to go and scroll down. This is just going over what the slide said. Permission demonstration setup. So I'm going to move that over there. Alright. So we'll start by creating a file and inspecting its permissions. Always check where you are. Let's see what we're looking at. Also, sorry, I'm going to be clearing my nose a lot. Just a little getting with my bug. In this demo, we'll be creating a file in the directory and look at the default permissions. Then we will change these permissions to deny particular users group access in order to read. Okay. Let's see if I have this. Just make sure. Code will not be how to use the commands, rather learning the syntax of the permissions themselves and how to combine them with users and groups to create custom access controls. ls-l to show permission info, chmod to change permission info, chown to change the owner and group of the file. I was like, I feel like I just did this. But yeah, it's because I did the homework and I was combining all this. I was a little confused for a sec. The code will not be, okay, whatever. Inspecting permissions. Alright, you can take a screenshot of this if you haven't pulled it up yourself. So we're going to go over right here. Oops. Whatever, you know what I'm trying to highlight. Start by creating a file and inspecting its permissions. Move to your documents. Folder, run, touch my file. Cool. Run, make my directory to create a directory. run lsl to show these files and the permissions info. Your output should be similar to the following. So these are all the files and directories under documents, including the ones I just made. So it denotes it's a file because of the hyphen. If it was a directory, it'd have a D. So it has, that's interesting. So this first one's supposed to be owner, read, write, and no execute. Typically when we've been messing with this, we've been going under the assumption of root as the owner. But I mean, truly, root can do anything, so whatever. So really, I guess I'm the owner because I made it, and it gets my default permissions. So I'm sysadmin, so it gets those default permissions. Group, anybody that's in a group that has access to this file also has read-write access. Everybody else has only read access, no write, and no execute. I forget what that extra plus means. Let's look it up. You know what? I don't mind. I'll look stupid. Look at this word. Okay. So I think what it's saying is, I think that's when we can change. So like, if we wanted to change others to have like the executability, we would hit something like chmod plus or something like that. Let me see if I can ask. Poe. Hey Poe, are you there? Oh, okay. Appreciate you, Jalen. Nah, she went on break, but no worries. So I personally know more or less what it means. Whatchamacallit, I'm not very good at explaining it because I don't know the syntax. Actually, fuck it, let's do this. Maybe this will help if anybody's still confused. Yes, I was right. Chmod. Yeah. Okay, there you go. That's better. So the plus can be to add permissions, basically. So if I did chmod plus right here, plus the x is giving executability to the owner on the file name. So like if I actually just put that in, I'm pretty sure my baby girl to do this. Well, no, duh, that's not good because anyhow, so we're going to do this and put the file name. What would happen is right here we would get an X for executability. But yeah, hopefully that helps with some understanding. Alright, anyhow, continuing with the demonstration. I got a little sidetracked. Sorry about that. Alright, so run ls, show, yes, whatever, yes, looks similar to this. This list includes more information than just the file name. You know, I'll let you read this one, read it in my head. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know what this number was. So that's good to know. So let's add that actually to this. How do I call that syntax? Let's do this one. Yeah, I can just fast forward this field. I'm just letting you see how I take notes personally. I have a question. I type it down when I'm thinking it. Okay, that's not gonna work. D R W X W X R hyphen X plus 2. And then we'll pause it while I type one more. I am silly, bro. I was thinking my second note while I was typing this. I said number, but I went for the plus sign here. Anyhow, my second note was going to be the same thing, but plus. Oh, what the fuck? That's weird. Okay. So. Alright, I gotta speed up because I'm 17 minutes in and I still haven't even fucking done one activity. I'm still in the demo. Okay, anyhow, so we did that. Okay, it's explaining what each of this stuff means. I'm gonna type one more note. Alright, I just left up the note that I wrote. So basically, because I didn't catch this during class, I just basically put what all of this means when all that pops up, because I only understood up to here basically. But this explains everything, including that number. So yeah. And again, that's also over here. Alright, continuing with the demonstration. For this demo, we will focus on the permissions. Permissions are always listed in the order of read, write, and execute for the user. Then other directories will always be labeled D. Items that are files will always be labeled with a hyphen. The next three characters will show the owner permissions. Okay. It's breaking down all this. Last three, great. Summary. Okay, I guess that was the end of the challenge. Yeah, just observe the permissions. Change permissions to deny certain groups and users access to read. Okay, so changing the owner and group. So this is actually still part of the demo. How we will change the owner. Oh, is that good? My muting. Now we will change the owner and the group by using chon. Sudo. Only root can make ownership and group changes to an item, which is why we're using sudo. So we need to use sudo with chown. Chown, this stands for change owner. No, never fucking put that together. Owner. This is the owner we are specifying for the item. Separates owner and group. I guess I can put this on here. I don't entirely understand that. to a specific user. Again, feel free to fast forward this if you want. I just like to make sure I completely understand everything. Group ownership, okay. Sorry, I'll have to step away for a sec. Clocking 30 minutes, 20 minutes in. Still just on the demo. But it's okay, because this is for understanding. It's okay. Gotta calm myself. Okay. Sudo. Change. Root. That's interesting. Oh, I didn't fucking do it right. Interesting. I don't see anything that changed. Sudo, chown, root, my folder, my file, whatever. Yeah, I don't see anything that changed. So it's supposed to say now we only have read permission on my file. You cannot write or make changes. Let's do this. I shouldn't mistype anything. Same thing. So it's not working. Let's see what it's supposed to do. Ah, interesting. Okay, so that makes sense. Now we have read permissions for. Okay, so I guess we're being treated as other, not the owner. But I mean, it still didn't change. So, right here, it's saying we're going to change. Make sure you understand this actually correctly before I can explain it. Okay. So we changed the file, the ownership of the file, to the root user, and group to root as well, to the root group. So that's what this did. So let's say there was another semicolon and another root, or semicolon. The semicolon's dividing. So this is owner, group, the next one would have been others, or other. So I guess it was just changing the ownership to root for owner and group. Look, here you go. Here's a good explanation too. Nice. Non-groups, we follow other category. I mean, I'm pretty sure this could show the same thing. Oh, bitch. Yeah, same exact thing, whatever. Message stating we cannot make changes to the file. Interesting. Because now we fall under other. We can only read, not make changes, not write. I like that. Sure. Let's go. Answer. Oh. Changing permission. Remember, we have 9 options. Two notations. So I think this is going to come into play with the. I'm looking at it. Yeah. The plus sign that I was looking up earlier. So run lsl my file. Okay. This file was created with the default permissions of. Yes, that is correct. No. The permissions are shown differently. So before I do this, I'm going to try this command out to change it into this first. Chmod equals negative RW. Oh wait, RW negative. That's ready. That one's already set. That one's correct. Group R minus other equals R minus, and I'm done. To put my file with that. Awesome. Now if I ls it, yes, nice. So we changed it. Very nice. Alright, so now that I changed it to what it was supposed to be defaulted to, let's change it to what it wants us to change it to now. To give user or owner read-write ability, group read-write ability. Oh, thanks, babe. Huh.
Oh, you're not doing it. I thought you were.
So group has read-write, other has read-write. So this is what we're changing it to from this, using this command. You can copy it if you have it open. I'm going to type it for practice. Change mod. I should have done this too. Should have done this a while ago. No. User equals read-writes. Equals read-writes. Equals read-writes. Right, that's what we're changing to all read-write. Yes. And if we can put that at the end again. Now if we ls it. Well, whatever, I didn't single it out. But anyhow, you can see it has updated. Very nice. And this is just a little note I made, if you're curious. Sorry. Oh my god, I'm still in the fucking demonstration. Anyhow, this actually furthered my knowledge, so I don't really mind. Okay. Oh, Nana. Yes, we can now edit. Very nice. This is the plus or minus that I was looking at earlier. And I'm going to do it just because. Oh, you know what? Actually, I can add this to my other note. I'll start pausing every time I add notes because I don't want to make the video too long. Oh, I'll sit with the fucking mic. So I'm gonna grab this. Sudo chmod plus x Wi-Fi. Very nice. So we went from this to adding executability to all of them. With that. Nice. Just updating my notes as I go. Okay. Minus x. I can pause it for this one because it'll be real quick. I don't need to explain that one because I have the explanations above. Awesome. And that's the end of the demonstration. Alright, so now we're on to activity 1. Alright, so we should all know how to get to activities, but just in case, because I'm going to stop showing it on my screen here. So you're at home. I'm doing week 4, day 3, activities. There we go. Activity 1. Let's get it. So I'm going to let you follow along on your own screen. I'm probably going to not show that again right now. Get rid of that. Let's go home. Let's go where you're at. Turn this lesson. We also have users from Zoom who using your administrator now wants you to secure a view of important files and directories. Recall that during the first scavenger hunt yesterday, we talked about the sensitive files on the system that contained all the users' passwords in groups. We'll make a note. These are the 2 notes I made if you're curious. This activity will give you an opportunity to practice inspecting and setting file permissions on these sensitive files. Use the checklists provided by your senior administrator in the instructions sections of information on which files to inspect and modify permissions for. You will use the same environment you used in the previous exercise. Okay. The following, set permissions on. So let's go to the file first. Stupid. I already have access to it. Okay. So we're setting the permissions to where only root has read and write access. Nobody has any other access. So that's already done. But just for funsies, I'm gonna show 2 ways of changing it. So one way was the chmod, and let's just change it to something completely else. Let's do 640, right? etc shadow, and I should put sudo before that. There we are. Now if I show it again, we can see it's changed a bit, right? All I did was add read access. Now, if you don't remember where I'm getting this number from, it is from the octate, I think it's called, or something like that. This thingamabob. So, I've explained this before, but I'll do a quick explanation again. So, right here, this one, the number for this would be, so the first 3 RW minus is equal to a 6. The next 3 in the line are 3 dashes, so 0. Last 3 is 0. So, so this here equals 600, right? That's its number. That's its octate number. I changed it to be 640. 640 is 640. So it would be 6 for the first 3, RW minus, that's correct. 4 is equal to R minus minus, and then the 000, right there, 640. So that's one way of changing user permissions. Or of course we could go about doing it the way we just went over. So I'm going to do this the way we just went over to change it into what the instructions want us to change it to. So it wants us to give root the ability to read and write, which it already is, but give no permissions, like how it was here, to everybody else, root and others. So the second way of changing it, besides doing that with the actual octate numbers, the sudo chmod, and then so the user or owner is already set to what we want. If we had to change it, we would do RW to put read and write abilities, execute if we wanted to throw that into, but that's already set. So the next one is group equals, so now we're on to the next 3 numbers. Group equals nothing. So actually wonder how I put nothing. So let's see. I wonder if I do that, we're going to find out. But just for explanation's sake, I wanted to give it read-write access again, I would do that, you know? So let's do that, see what happens. Other. Yeah, I didn't think that was going to go through. Well, other we don't have to mess with. And I'm fucking done. I'm not putting the file name. Ooh. So yeah, that does work. Haha. Very nice. I'm gonna make note of that. There's my note if anybody's curious. Alright, and so I'm gonna go ahead and work through the rest of it pretty quickly. I'm gonna clear my screen because I don't like how messy this is. Or you know, fuck it, I'll leave it. But anyhow, I'm gonna finish this activity pretty quickly because I'm just gonna go ahead and do the rest to it. Alright, so we're gonna mess with, let's check. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna clear it. So we're gonna go ahead and now, so again, I'm still on home. Oop, fuck. I'm still on home. I'm gonna go ahead and check the current permissions of the next file. gshadow. Okay, so I thought I reset this whole thing, but I guess it's already got this pre-saved. So we want to make it to where root or owner has read and write access. Everybody has nothing else. So just for fun, I'm just gonna change it to something else and change it back. So sudo chmod, just more practice, Let's do 640 again. etc gshadow, and then if I ls it, we can see it changed. And I'm going to use the other method to change it back. So, and I'm going to type it out longer this time, actually. Actually, I could have used compound command for this, but whatever. I'm going to change it back using the other method now. Sudo chmod. I'm going to type it all out just for fun. RW is what I want there. Group is going to be none. And other is going to also be none. And then etc gshadow. And then now if I ls it, it's gone back. Beautiful. On to the next one. Yeah, I'm gonna clear it. I'm gonna clear it. Whatever. So next one we're looking at is so for this one we're going to change root to have read and write access and all others to have read access only. So currently, yes, root has read and write, other has read, but group does not have read. So let's go ahead and change it. So sudo chmod. I'm going to do one way for this one and another way for the other one. Again, I don't have to type out the whole thing. I'm just going to focus on group, the one we're changing. Equals read. And nice. And as we can see, only group changed because I did g equals r, which gives them reading access. And yeah, so now root has read write, everybody else has read. Beautiful. Last one we're changing will be cool. So root has read write, group has none, other has reading access. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make it to where root has read write and everybody else has read. So we're just going to be adding readability to it. So we could do it the same way, like that. But I'm going to do the other way, the octet method. So we're going to do sudo chmod so for read, so for RW minus is 6. So what we're changing it to will be, what I'm going to change it to. So we want to give root read-write access, which is a 6, read-write access, and everybody read access, so it'll be 4s. 4 for group, 4 for other. So that's what we want these two to be. Oops, last 3. Because what it's currently set to is RW minus is 6, and then minus 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 is 0. R minus minus is 4. That's what it's currently changed to. That's what it's currently at, but we're going to change it to give read-write access to root and read to everybody else. Hopefully all this is making sense. And I believe it's at 6.4. And then of course get the name. And now if I ls it again, we got it. Beautiful. That's activity 1 done. So I could do the bonus. I'm not going to because I'm getting late and yeah, I got work tomorrow, so I'm not going to be doing that. I would love to do that, but eh. Also, just to show you what I'm doing behind the scenes, so the way I'm reviewing is I opened the PowerPoint initially. I have my Quizlet with all the information, yeah, but I opened the PowerPoint. I'm reading through each slide again just to refresh my memory on everything, and then as I hit activities or demos, that's where I stop and I'm starting the video again. But yeah, so while the video is paused, I'm going through and reading all this information again. So yeah, if you want to do the same thing. Alright, so we're at another demo. This is what we're going to be doing the demo. Feel free to pause it, read it, moving on. Let me pull up the demo over here. Summary, okay, activity. Great, okay, saw that in the notes. Finding and stopping SMB demo. Sorry, that's personal. Finding and stopping SMB demo. Alright, so just find the spot in your notes, because this is where I'm picking up from. So, actually, where? Oh, so where the heck did that go? It's right in front of me. PW, no. Yeah, okay, where'd you? Alright, since the server has already been compromised, you will proceed by stopping the SMB service and then uninstalling it from the system. This will require the following steps: listing all services, identifying the Samba service in the list to verify that it's running, then stopping it, ensuring that Samba doesn't start when the machine is started up, ensuring that Samba is no longer running, uninstalling the Samba service completely. So, let's see. This has a lot of options, but to complete these actions, we only need to know the following: to list all services, stop the service. Ooh, this is good. I'm gonna make notes of all these. One sec. Awesome. And I'm actually gonna read them. Alright, so that's just pre-notes. Now we're actually gonna get into the demo here. We're gonna run this, and I'm gonna type it because I like to practice. So we're running systemctl, T, I'm guessing for total, service, or actually I don't know what the T means. Oh. Sorry, I was checking something. Yeet. Yikes. Okay, no idea what I'm looking at, but let's figure it out. Oh, how kind. It actually breaks it down. T stands for type. Services. Oh, that makes sense. All ensures that we see all available services on the system, even if they're running. I'm going to make a note of this. I just added it to this note, and yeah. And just because I like to do this, I make photos of my notes. Alright, options should be similar to, looks pretty similar to me. Ah, and look at this, it explains it. I'll take another note. Alright, sorry. So, it gives just a brief explanation, doesn't really go into too much depth, I mean, we can assume what all that means. Self-explanatory. We can easily see services that the system has searched for. And not found in the system. Those are marked. Ah! Look at that. It actually is explaining it. Spoke too soon. Those are marked in red under the load column and have a yellow dot to the left of the service name. Interesting. Not found in the system. Interesting. We'll look at how to identify the SMBD process and then stop and disable it. So if you're not looking at the notes, it's referring to this process. That's what SMB is. So if you want to see that, just pause it. We are enabling and disabling a service to configure whether or not it starts automatically on system boot. Run. Okay, so I guess Q to exit. So now we're going to run another command. Oh, it wants me to run the same thing that I just ran. Note the SMB service. I personally do not see the SMB service. Let's move on to the next thing. Run systemctl status SMB to get the status of the SMBD service. I'm just looking at something as well. Okay. I just feel like retyping that. So systemctl status SMBD. Nice. So if you don't recall what a daemon is, a daemon is a non-human operator that runs in the background. It's also what crons are, non-human operators, I believe, that do automatic processes in the background, basically, whatnot. Alright, so we got this here. And of course, for my notes, because I like photos. Let's make it more apparent. And you can honestly see how I take notes too. I'm watching with this. Nice. Your output should look similar. Yes, it does. The service is marked as active running. I do see that. Run sudo system disable SMBD, but let me see. I just look at what of. I more or less don't understand what it's talking about. Whatever. So next command sudo systemctl disable SMBD. Cybersecurity. Cool. Services are just packages. You can remove package by running. Disable. You know me, gotta screenshot it. I underline it because when you're digging through notes, it helps. Because you look at a lot of photos. I don't know why this bitch isn't freaking pasting first time that I copy it. Cool. Alright, so we disabled it. Services are just packages. Now we want to remove it. Sudo apt remove smd. Now, if you're not sure why we're doing all this, again, this over here, what I just quickly showed and said to pause and read. So basically, what this demo is demonstrating is we have a malicious SMB operating. SMB's it's a file sharing tool, but sometimes they can be manipulated by attackers to do things they're not supposed to. So we suspect this for whatever reason, and we're trying to shut it down. We'll stop the SMB service and then uninstall it from the system. Finding and stopping SMB demo. This requires several steps. So this is what I've been doing in the demo. I listed all the running services. I identified the Samba service in the list to confirm it's running. Then I stopped it. We saw that. Ensuring Samba doesn't start when the machine is started up. That's why we're unloading it. As well as ensuring Samba is no longer running. Uninstalling the Samba service completely. Yes. So we disabled it. And then we're completely uninstalling it. So it won't start up when we reboot the computer. Now, as far as when we disable it, I don't know if that's just disabling it until the next time that we turn on the computer. I remember her talking about that specifically. Actually, let me ask her. Hey, Poe, you there? Poe? She must be, she must be doing something. Is my audio on? Let's try Slack. I want to get this answer. Well, I can't. Can you hear me now, Poe? Maybe? Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. So I was working through day 4, activity 3, and I remember. So let me get to my question here. So I'm just working through the demo for more practice. So I couldn't recall exactly. So right here it says, I'm sorry, I keep talking in the middle of the sentence. Thank you. It says identify the Samba service in the list to confirm it's running and stop it. Ensure Samba doesn't start when the machine is started up. Ensuring Samba is no longer running, uninstall completely or whatnot. When I disable it here, is that just disabling it until it restarts the computer and then it re-ables again? Or because I could have sworn that you said something about persistence. 3. Okay, so the stop will fail against persistence. Gotcha. Okay, cool. Thank you, Bo. I appreciate it. Well, I'm gonna make a note of that. And of course, now when I freaking read this, it's right there. Alrighty. Sudo apt remove smvd. Sorry, go back. I'm gonna turn my volume so I can hear them. Sudo apt remove smvd. Yes. No. Sudo apt remove. Yes. smvd. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna answer my question that I just bothered Poe about. Because I don't freaking just keep reading. Disable the box service, you can start enable the. Oh, well, I guess I didn't answer it, but I'm gonna make a note. Alright, we have removed Samba from the system, so the following commands won't work, which is enable start. So the following commands won't work, but if we wanted to start and enable the system, we would do the following. Should we have not, if we hadn't removed it. So that's the end of the demonstration. So next will probably likely be activity 2. And this is, yes, this I didn't completely understand, so hopefully I can hurry up and do this before the class time ends so I can ask Poe. And just because this is actually a good definition of what a daemon is, or even con, I believe it is. Kernel cons? Whatever, a daemon. Take time. Alright. Oh, I didn't mean to pause it, I'm still reading the notes. So it looks like we're hitting another demo, and I'm going to set a timer for myself so I can hear what she says at the end of class. Yeah. So, scenario, setting up and adding service users demo. your senior administrator asked you to huh? Did I skip an activity? No. No, okay, I meant I think I did skip that activity. I was like, I didn't do that. Hold on, I lost my notes really. Activity 1. Demo 2. So yeah, I was supposed to do a second activity before this one. So let's go do activity 2 then. My bad. Services. Shut down insecure services. Shut down instructions. Your senior administrator. I should have done that the whole time. Oh, she's talking. Sorry, I stepped away and I don't exactly recall where I left off. But all I know is I was about to start this activity. Your senior administrator, and I'm going to turn up the volume more. Okay, some of our systems may have old services running. Alright, sorry, so I can see if they're next. So hold it. Okay. Some of our systems may have old services running that are no longer used. Because services can be exploited, we want to run as few of them as possible. The services we should check for are the following. This file FTP. So this is just pre-instructions, it seems like. This file sharing service is outdated, insecure, and easily exploitable. Cyber criminals often use it to upload malicious files, so we need to remove it immediately. Telnet. we used to use Telnet to get a shell on this server from a remote computer. This allowed us to easily reconfigure the server while not being in the office. Unfortunately, Telnet is notoriously insecure and easily hacked. Remove it so no one can log in to this machine remotely. HTTP is used to send files over the internet and host websites. This server is not supposed to be hosting websites, so stop and remove this service. Bonus, I'm not going to do bonus today. To check for above services, make sure none of these are running. So, I'm going to also open my notes over here because I'm going to be using them in conjunction right now. Alright, so So, so to check the both services, make sure none of these are running. So we're going to see if any of them are running. So the way to check if they're running is systemctl status, and then name to determine if a single file is running. So the first one is FTP, but it's under the name vsftpd dot service, and it looks like it is active and running. So we want to for any listed services that you find on the system, complete the following. Stop the service. Verify that the service is stopped. Disable the service. Do not disable Apache 2 or nginx. They will be needed for later activity. Remove the service from the system. Take note of the commands to remove these services, but do not actually remove them. You will use them again for the next activity. Hint devocat. Hint devocat comes in 2 packages. You'll need to remove both to successfully uninstall the service. Oh, but that's for the bonus. I can do that tonight. Alright, so only this one we're going all the way with. The other 2 services, we're going to only do the first step of checking the status. Alright, so we check the status. It is running. We need to stop it. So the command to stop it is systemctl stop and service name vsftpd dot service. Failed to stop. Okay. Service message recipient disconnected. Message without replying. See system logs. Okay, well, let's see if it actually stops. So it's still running. Why? Let's try it again. Sudo system ctl stop vsftpd dot service. Okay. So I must have typed something wrong last time. So now, inactive, dead. Nice, we did it. What did I type wrong up here? No, anyhow, I got it. And I'm just gonna add my little note. Alright, so I took a minute with that because I was getting distracted with what she's talking about with somebody. Do my best to resist the urge to jump in and help. Let's see, where did this go? I remember what I was doing here. Alright, took the screenshot. So we verified the status. It was active. We went ahead and stopped the service. That's as far as we're taking it. It says remove the service from the system. So let's go ahead and remove it. What was it? What was it? Apt remove. Okay. Sudo apt remove, and then service name is that vs ft bd dot service, and it's removed. Cool. There we go. So we would do the same exact things for these two, except since they're essential, we're going to need them later in class. We're not going to stop them, deactivate them, or uninstall them. But we can go ahead and verify if they're running. Which is systemctl status, and then the first one is G2. No, you can't have G2. Service. So I guess it's not running. Oh, was I supposed to do sudo? Alright, well, it did print the status. Looks like it's not on for whatever reason. I don't know why, but okay. Anyhow, next one. NGINX. It is active and running. So we did go ahead and verify that it's active and running. We verified that one, not active and running for whatever reason. The next steps would be to uninstall them, but the instructions say don't go ahead and do that because we need them later for class. So that is the end of activity 2. Awesome. So now we are at scenario 2. I believe scenario 2, right? No, scenario 3. Demo 3. Anyhow, scenario, setting up and adding service users demo. Your senior administrator ask you to follow up on your uninstallation of unused services. You must now ensure the services corresponding users have also been removed from the service. So if you don't know what it's talking about here, it's saying one of your download services, typically through the package manager, a service user, one of those non-human users, is automatically created and configured whenever you download a service. Okay, and then it's explaining that. So in the last activity, we uninstalled that service, the FTP. Sorry about that. I was just saying by PO. I'm going to try to put this over here. Put my Quizlet over here. And instructions over here. Alright, you must now ensure the services corresponding users have also been removed from the service. Previously you disabled, yep, but its service user FTP still exists. Interesting. Scenario, setting up and adding services. Oh, so I guess that's another scenario back to back. Activity at the very end. Alright, so we're going to do this one first. So I'm going to come over here. Okay. Set up and remove. Oh, I guess this is the demo. So this is part 1 of the demo. This is part 2. Scenario setup and adding service users demo. Your senior administrator also plans to install a security service called Splunk to collect and analyze logs for suspicious activity. Like Tripwire, Splunk makes it easier for admins and security personnel to detect and spot malicious behavior. So I guess we're going to be adding the server. And it continues. Setting up and adding service users demo. Your senior administrator told you that they'll handle the installation and configuration themselves, but have requested that you create a service user that they can use later. Interesting. So we're actually doing that ourselves. Scenario setting up. Okay, same thing. Completing this task will require the following scripts. Deleting an old, unused service user with deluser. I already have that in my notes, so I don't need to add that. Create, and validating a new service using user with adduser. Alright, and then structure demonstration. So let's get the demonstration done now. So it looks like it's a couple of steps, and it looks equally as long. Alright, so this is the PowerPoint. What's that? That's not too bad. Let's get it. So we're going to clear that. CD home, LBD, see where we are, and see what we're looking at. Set up, removing, and adding service users demo. Your senior administrator has tasked you to follow up on uninstalling unused services by ensuring the services corresponding users have also been removed from the system. Previously, you disabled that, but its service user FTP still exists. Processes such as the VSFTP FTP server require an existing user and group to run under and also to access files. In Debian and Debian-based Linux distributions, the service user FTP exists to serve this purpose. Additionally, your senior administrator plans to install a security service called Splunk, a tool for collecting and analyzing logs for service activities. That's just interesting. Just so you can see, I just added Splunk. The more the merrier. Sorry, I coughed right in the mic on that one. I've told you that Splunk, a tool for collecting and analyzing logs for suspicious activity. Along with tools like Tripwire, Splunk makes it much easier for administrators and security personnel to detect and stop malicious behavior. They've told you that they'll handle the installation and configuration themselves, but have requested that you start by creating a service user that they can use to do so. In this demonstration, you'll see how to delete an old user using the delete an old unused service user with deluser and create and validate a new service user with adduser. These commands will use some flags that you haven't seen yet when deleting a user. Remove all files, remove any files for which the user is the owner, including the home folder and all its contents. When creating a user, system creates a user with a UID under 1000, locks, sets the login shell to SBIN, locks the user from logging in, and does not assign it to password. I'm going to make notes of that. Alright, so it's been a minute. I just took some time to go ahead and take all my notes that I wanted to from the section, so I don't have to keep stopping to do that. Where did I leave off? I believe I was reading this. When deleting a user, remove all files. Okay, you can read that. You can read this. Or I'll fucking read it because I need a refresher. Remove all files. Remove all files for which the user is the owner, including the home folder. I'm gonna read it in my head. So now we're going to go ahead and get to it. Got our default page here that I like. Begin by identifying the FTP user. Run grep FTP, the name of the services user, not a human user. etc group. The group also source. Alright, so we have the name of the non-human user. This, which is where the password's supposed to be. I believe the X denotes that there never was a password set. Yeah. You can look that up and double check. That's what I'm pretty sure of. And then I guess it's his group number, I'm assuming. Well, I assume when I can get the answer. Oops. No. And feel free to pause it before I change it as well. X, that's what I want to know. Placeholder for the password. Yeah, so no password is set. It doesn't need a password anyhow because it's not a human user. The FTP user is in the lists. Okay. We want to remove the user along with any files it created. We want to remove the group by the same name. So we do that by running grep. Oh, we're going to check the group now. Grep FTP etc group. And that's actually literally what I just did. I repeated it. Sorry. I see what I meant to do the first time. I was meant to do pass WD. There we go. Name, password. Don't know what that is. there. So user ID, group ID. User ID and group ID. So I was right on that one. Group ID. It's a daemon, a non-human user, and I guess it shows me the absolute path. I want to find it. I'm assuming that's what that is. Again, I don't have to assume. Okay. Alrighty. Now we're going to go ahead and start removing. So we're going to run sudo deluser ---- remove -all -files, and then the username ftp password. No! Oh my god, it's too high. This is still thinking. Okay. Ooh, I was about to queue out of it too. Ow! Bitch. Nice. Okay, so there's no more members. Okay, so it seems like it did what it's supposed to do. Sudo deluser remove is what I just did. All files associated with the user FTP. Okay, so the flag, remove all files. Flag will remove every file created by that user, including the home folder for that user and the system group by the same name. Next, run grep ftp exit password user form entry. Oh, so I guess this next one is just showing that it's gone. So we're going to run grep ftp etc pass wt. Nothing came up. So yeah, it's been removed because when we ran it earlier, this came up. So everything about it's been deleted. And if I run it for the group one, it'll honestly come up blank as well, because this had the group information in it as well. Nice. So this is just verifying that all the files associated with it have been deleted. We will now create a user for the Splunk service that the administrator would like to install. So we're going to run sudo adduser space ---- system no create home Splunk ready. So again, we're adding the user, adding it to the system, gives it a user ID number less than 1,000. We're not creating a home because it doesn't really need to store much information. The name of the non-human user will be Splunk, and then the group, I forget what that one exactly does, but I can find out. Or some group. We're creating a group. I guess its group name is going to be Splunk, because if we remember that system users are not automatically assigned a group, so the flag -- group is needed to create the service name for the group. I'm going to hit enter. Nice. Adding system, so yep, a UID under 1,000, that's its ID number, its group number, Splunk, yep, with group Splunk, so Splunk did become its group name, and no home was created. Yeah, so it's saying that it did not create home Splunk, so that's not existing. Alrighty, I scrolled up all my notes over here, let me scroll back down. Alright, so now we're just going to double check its UID number, even though it gave us all the information there. So we're going to run tel etc passwd. We see Splunk here, no password, X is its placeholder, the user ID number, group ID number, and did it create a home? Well, yeah, it puts its home basically in here so that right here. So put it in a shell that does not allow a login. That's the shell. Yeah. Right. And because we did tel, it showed us the last 10 of this file. And obviously our guy is going to be the last one that was added. So it's showing us the tel and the bottom end of this file. Alright, the shell has been set up to, okay, the UID is less than 1,000, tel is better than grep here, because we know that the user we just created will be the last on the list. Remember, we could also use the ID command to verify the UID is under 1,000. So let's just do that. UID, I'm assuming Splunk. And yes, gives us that. Oh, and that's funny, this next thing. Run ID Splunk to verify that the UID is under 1,000 we did. Run ls home to show that there is no home folder created for Splunk. Splunk is not among them. Remember, you can see password entries in the etc shadow. That's just where we were not, so it's good. Brilliant. So we're gonna sudo tel etc shadow cool. Here's our Splunk asterisk. Note the asterisk in the password field for the Splunk user. This means the user is locked without a password. Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking. So it's locked without a password. A password was never set. After we set up a service user, we would schedule the user to run the service as needed. Scheduling programs to run a certain time is a topic for next week's class. For now, we just want to be able to manage creating the user itself. Alright, that concludes the instructor's demo. Now we're moving on to, hopefully, the last activity. Alright, so hopefully I can move through this pretty quickly because it's starting to get late. Class already ended an hour ago, and I'm trying to get done here. Oh, I never did this one. Fuck, I might struggle a little bit. Let's see. In the previous activity, we stopped and removed a few old services from the system. In this activity, we removed those users from the system and added a new service user for Tripwire. To complete this activity, we need to use the deluser command to remove the lingering service users. Use the adduser command with the correct flags to create a new Tripwire use. Edit the sudoers file to allow the Tripwire user to run Tripwire with sudo. Sorry, I'm just checking this. Change the Tripwire permissions to only allow the owner of Tripwire to run the service. Okay, we got this. And this is everything we went over so far. These steps are not always needed, as most services create their own user when the package is installed. Note, the bonus solution is included. That's okay. We're not going to do bonus today. The first step is to remove any service users associated with the following services. I thought we weren't removing these. I mean, I guess I could reinstall them, but disable services do not disable adduser or GINX that we need for. So is this from actually removing them then? So I wasn't fucking supposed to remove FTP back there. Can I re-download it? Sudo. Let's do that. I'm not going to pause it and let it play. I could look for it, but I'm not going to. That's what I want. No. Ha, it's funny. That's what we're okay, so now I'm looking for a deposit. My handy dandy Quizlets. Yeah. Hold up. First off, let's clear this. There we are. Alright, so sudo apt get install. What was it called? I wonder if I can put this name as easy peasy lemon squeezy. Ah. That's it. Oh well, we're gonna carry on. First step is to remove any service users associated with the following services. Already done that one. And cut. So, you can quickly find the users. So I'm going to slightly adjust this because I already got rid of one. Or actually, even if I type it the same way, it shouldn't make a difference because it's just gone. Grep. Interesting. FTP backslash pipe dove air quote /etc /pass wd. And as I expected, nothing came up for FTP because we already got rid of it, but something did come up for dove. So there's two doves, dove caught, dove null, and it even mentioned something about that in the last activity. And the bonus, dove caught, comes in two packages. You'll need to remove both to successfully uninstall the service. Alright, to remove the service users, run sudo deluser -remove -all -files, and then the name be dove caught, and then dove caught null. And I'm going to do and just because I don't want to retype all of this. Ah, bitch. Okay, not what I was trying to do. Oh my god, okay. Oh my god, this is taking a minute. So anyhow, while this is erasing, so the reason why I'm typing dove caught and not just dove here is because dove wouldn't work. We did dove here because we did grep, and grep can pull this little thing, anything that has this, align with that information, which is why it's red here, because that's what we were looking for and that's what it pulled. If FTP was anywhere, it would have pulled it too and denoted it in red. So we need to use the whole file names or usernames, dove caught and dove null. Sudo del user -remove all files dove caught. And I'm doing the and just as a reminder. The and is used for compound commands. Oh, bitch. So end is great for this because if the first command before end does not go through, everything stops. It's not going to skip on to the next one. If I did a semicolon here instead, let's say this one didn't go through, it would be like whatever, and move on to the next one. And I don't want that to happen because if it doesn't work, I just want it to stop altogether. I don't want to have to go back and be like, oh, did this first one go through? Oh, did the second one go through? No. If anything fails, I want it to stop. And dovecot null. So let's hit enter. Oh yeah, this is going to take a minute. So it's getting rid of everything from 2 files. And we see how long it took for the other single one. So while that's working, I'm going to come over here. Okay, remove, run, okay. That's what we just did. For example, remove all, and then of course it has 1, so it probably would have had us do 2 command lines. I just combined it with the and. We will create a tripwire user that will be dedicated to running tripwire. So this is the next part. Sudo adduser system no create home tripwire. Once this is done, oh nice, perfect. Warning, group dov null has no more users. So honestly, we can just double check. I'm just going to run the same thing. I could take this out, I'm not going to, and nothing comes up. I was just double checking that all files with associated to dov that was created by the user dov, which are dov null or dovecot, have been erased, and they all have. Now we're going to move on to the next one of creating the user for tripwire. So that command will be sudo adduser system no create home tripwire. Let's break this down again. So we're adding the user. This is meaning this denotes that it's going to be assigned a user ID number less than 1,000, which means it's a system user, non-human user. We're not going to give it a home because it doesn't really need to store any information. And then, of course, the user is going to be called tripwire. Cool. So, yep. User ID less than 1,000. Yep. We did not assign it a group. Otherwise, we would have had like the at the end of it, which would have assigned it a group under tripwire. And we did not create a home directory of home tripwire anywhere. Am I lying? It might be under a specific spot, but anyhow, we didn't create a home tripwire. Moving on. Run ID tripwire and verify the IDs less than 1,000. I mean, we just verified that by looking at the info, but whatever. User ID is less than 1,000. Group ID, non-group. Groups, no group. I don't know what those numbers are. Whatever. Moving on. Run ls home to verify there is no home for home folder for tripwire. Tripwire is not here. No home. Remember, we can observe password entries in the etc shadow file. So we're going to do sudo tail etc passwd. It's going to give us the last 10 lines of this file. And as we can see, there's no password. It's a placeholder. Doesn't, yeah, it will. And this is what I was talking about. The home tripwire being placed in another location. This just means it has no login, cannot log in, cannot be used to log in. So that it's not really so much of a threat of a system compromise. Oh, and look, it even says, oh, note that USR SBIN no login is at the end of the tripwire line. Well, I explained what that meant. It does there. We will add a line to the sudoers file in order to allow this user to run only tripwire using sudo privileges. So we're going to mess with sudo privileges. So that's vsudo, sudo, vsudo. We're coming in here. So we're looking at everything that has sudo privileges. I added that one in another activity that I recorded. Max, that's another activity. Cool, keep it all together. This is just a note to keep it in form with everything. Oh, he doesn't have a group. Whatever, close enough. I feel like that fits. Alright, so right here we're going to add trip wire all equals no pass wd colon space / and we're going to put its home, I guess, whatever, user s bin usr, yeah, s bin, and then another / to the user selection of the file and save it. So I guess I would have gone here. Do I want to copy and paste that? Will it let me? Yes. Thank you. So if we don't recall, okay, it's to delete the line. Sorry, Control K. Nice. Do it from the middle of the line. User. Okay. Well, user. Well, not user alias. No, I'm not going to change it. Whatever. It's chilling there. Save it. The section should be as follows: user privilege. See, it is right there. I'm going to do it for myself. Y'all can fast forward here. See, real quick, we're done. User privilege status specification root all. So I guess I didn't need this line. Let's do that. Here. We will change the permissions of tripwire program to only allow the owner to execute it. So this one I can probably do from memory. I'm going to exit and save. Remember, there's two ways of doing this. There's this way. Let's see. We will change the permission of the tripwire group program to only allow the owner to execute it. No other privileges for anybody else. Run which tripwire to locate the tripwire package. That's interesting. I'm going to make a note. Sorry, I probably should have done this when it was paused, but photo, of course, as always. These photos are always good to have. Understanding. Bruh, paste, oh my god. Alright, that was annoying me. I got it. We got it. So, alright, we did that. So now we're going to run sudo chmod to change the permissions. 707, which gives read, write, execute permissions to owner. The zeros take away all permissions. Let's see. And this is the absolute path, it looks like. Or maybe relative. But, so if you want, you can type this. I'm going to do the other way, just because I have less practice with that way. Both will work. Mine's a little longer, actually. So sudo chmod, and we're going to do U for user, aka owner, and that is, what's the order of it? Read, write, execute, comma, no space, group equals none, hyphen for none, and then other for none. And then we need to specify its location. Yeah. Looks like it went through without any problems. Now we're going to just verify that it is what we want it to. And yes, it's a file. Owner / user has read, write, execute privileges, group, and other have no privileges. And that concludes week 4, day 3 activities and demos.